It looked good, the crowd indoors, compared to some of the ones they've had here domestically lately. But should we go ahead and, before we talk about the show, talk about the ring controversy? Might as well get that out of the way.
I mean, it was one of the first things people noticed. We started seeing photos go around before we saw any of the actual matches or anything. People noticed that the ring was smaller. Reports said that it may have been 16 by 16, which is pretty small. They had problems fitting the aprons on, obviously, because the ring was smaller. I saw an image with like a step stool instead of ring steps. They had a step stool to get people in and out of the ring. I mean, Tony's the same guy that throws money. He just put Rita Chatterton under contract and brought her into Jaguars games. He has money up the gazoo, and he'll spend it. They didn't want to bring their own ring?
Well, and again, if you're running a business and you're running one show in Australia and you could find a local ring instead of goddamn either putting one on a boat for 3 months or whatever that process is, or flying a goddamn wrestling ring to Australia, if you're running a business, yes, you would try to find something over there that would serve. But for the same guy that fucking spends as much money as it would cost to have one built over there and fucking polished and the post powder coated and shipped in there and put up by naked hookers, he spends that much money on Danielson's entrance music for a pay-per-view. So what? It's hard to hold these folks to the similar standards, but I didn't. Go ahead.
No, you could go ahead. I was going to bring up the Buddy Matthews tweet, but I'll do it after you talk about this.
Well, okay, because I want to know more about, because I saw him limping, but I thought he'd been selling his knee from some crazy thing that he did a second before that. But nevertheless, the ring was a normal fucking ring. That's what people are so used to seeing. All the WWF, it shows goddamn Netflix trailers on an LED screen on all 4 ring posts, and everything's lit up and lightning flies out of everybody's ass. And with AEW, they do dress up as well, but this was a regular fucking probably Australian indie ring. The ropes were nice. They had the AEW turnbuckle pads. The ring posts were neither painted any fancy colors nor particularly straight, because they had the square posts that bend without the angle iron on the outside, or making a 6-inch round post that won't bend unless you hit it with a 18-wheeler. But I digress. I didn't take a bump in it, but I saw it had some give. The mat didn't look too bad. Apparently the apron skirts, what everybody's freaking out about is, I hadn't even really noticed or paid attention, but it looked like it was an 18 by 18 foot ring, the same as an old WCW ring or any of the territory rings from the days of the territories, except for WWF and Vern. They always used a 20-foot ring, and Sheik and Kobo had a 24-foot boxing ring. We got to ask fucking Supermouth Dave Drayson why that was sometime. That's one thing I've never thought to ask him. But this was just a regular size fucking ring. Maybe it looked even smaller because they were actually in a big building with people in it.
Well, again, people were saying 16 by 16. It looked really small. It looked like the ring from the ICW studio.
No, I've seen
steps and you can run the
16 by
ropes.
16-foot rings, and that was bigger than that. I mean, 16 by 16 is fucking embarrassing. You can take 2 steps and hit the other side.
Obviously, we'll review the match later on, but Buddy Matthews tweeted out, so thoughts after AEW Grand Slam Australia? If it wasn't a 16 by 16 shit wrestling ring, I wouldn't have destroyed my ankle on the entrance due to holes in the padding.
Okay.
Okada wouldn't have been able to put his foot on the rope, and I'd be champion. Shit happens. Now again, he said 16 by 16, but saying he destroyed his ankle due to holes in the padding, what does that mean?
Well, that means that they had shit padding. And that's the same way that I tore my left ACL in Philadelphia, and because the padding was separated. There was a crack where if you put your foot down in the wrong place, you can roll your ankle, or your knee can go sideways or whatever. But one of the nice rings these days, whether it be AEW or WWE or, the standardized big companies. They actually, in the old days, you got fucking indoor outdoor carpeting rolled off a goddamn trailer that was exposed to rain and snow, was the padding for the ring. But now they have that, what do you call it, composite material, but it comes in rolls and they roll it all the way across, and it's seamless in that respect. And then it's also straight, so they can tape it down where the rolls meet, and you don't have any holes or dips or valleys where if you plant your foot wrong, you're fucking yourself up. Apparently, they have not, in Australia, invested in that type of material yet. If he had a hole in the ring, that's what that means. But truthfully, as I said earlier, I had seen him limping, but I thought that he was doing something from selling something from a movie he had just done. It might have hurt himself too. But did he say he did it on the entrance?
Yeah, he did it at the beginning.
Gee, and still got through, and still was more impressive than fucking Okada. Holy shit. Well, any update on the injury or whatever? He said more soon.
Ankle injury, more information soon. Apparently, he was enjoying his honeymoon with Rhea Ripley while they were in Australia. So he's out and about and hopefully healing up. But there are photos. Well, I guess that's how we know that. There are photos of them hanging out, and he has a crutch.
Well, yeah. Well, now don't call her that.
I'm talking about the crutch.
He can get over on his own merits.
No, I'm not saying she's the crutch. How dare you? I'm saying he has a crutch.
Well, I'm saying don't say you sounded like he's out and about. He's hopping around on one leg, but he wasn't going to let that interfere with his nuptiations.
You think Hoppy's a better name than Buddy?
It would almost have to be, wouldn't it?